The Game. The documentary 2. It's been 10 years. 10 long years since West Coast rapper The Game released the documentary. And now here we are in 2015. Oh, what a year. Oh, what a year we're having. A double album. 2 very long albums. Like, redonkadonk long. It took a lot of time to get through. I think, how long is it?
It's
like
37 songs.
Holy
it's like 2 hours, 35 minutes, I think, in total.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you could look at, just by looking at the features on this album, you could tell it was a really serious project. Let me read out some names for you. Kendrick Lamar, Ice Cube, Dre, will.i.am, Diddy, Q-Tip, Kanye West, Drake, Snoop Dogg, Schoolboy Q, Busta Rhymes, Skrillex, Nas, Lil Wayne. There are many more than that. Many more. But those are all the ones I'm going to shout at you right at this very moment. Gareth, what's your favourite feature on this record?
What was my favourite feature?
Yeah. That's involving both sides of the album.
Wow. Schoolboy Q.
Oh.
I think Schoolboy Q had the best verse on the whole album.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
And I really liked the song he was on.
Okay. James?
Nas.
Yes, same. The Nas
was
so good.
Nas one was good.
real good.
Yep. Real good. Real fucking good.
Real good.
Okay. Worst feature on the album.
Lil Wayne! No competition at all. Lil Wayne.
Wait.
100%.
Let me look. I'm not so sure, because the only reason why I was like, you know what, this song with Lil Wayne in it isn't that bad. Do you know why? Because he had such a minimal part in it.
But his minimal part was just as awful.
That's something I would say about some of these features. Some of the features are so minimal. It's like, can you really say
it's interesting?
Diddy.
It's a Diddy.
Diddy was minimal.
He came in at the end of one song.
He didn't even rap. He just talked.
Standing on Ferraris, didn't have a verse, didn't sing in the hook.
Busta Rhymes doesn't sing. Well, doesn't rap. He just sings the hook, which actually is interesting because he did it.
He did it on the
first
original,
song, which is kind of cool. It's a nice throwback, but it's weird because he never sings anymore. It's so weird to hear him sing like that.
But I feel as though putting Diddy on Standing on Ferraris, 5th song on disc 1.
Also, what he was just talking about some bullshit that no
it
one
was
cares
for the
about.
sake of having Diddy on the feature
entirely.
list, I feel.
That was also up there for one of the worst features, even though I like Diddy.
Yeah, I'm going to change it. I think Diddy was the worst feature because
pretty bad.
he made no contribution. No contribution at all.
I'm going to still say Lil Wayne because I think he made a negative contribution.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
But yeah, I totally agree with that.
However, I really enjoyed the song Standing on Ferraris.
Same.
I think it was up there. It wasn't one of the best, but it was up there.
Yeah.
I think it had the best sample. Like that.
Yes, the sample from Jay Hawkins, I Put a Spell on You.
No. Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's it's excellent. As soon as that came on, I literally like just ripped fire in all caps. Because as soon as that came on, I was just like, yes. I mean, it's nothing new. It's been done before. That sample's been used to death. But it's such a good sample.
Yeah,
every time I hear it, I'm like, yes, this is gonna be hype.
It's kind of pitched down a bit.
And the rapping didn't give it up. You know, sometimes when you hear a great sample be used like that, you're like, oh, are they gonna do it as well as this person do it? Are they gonna, really make using that sample worth it? And they did. It was a good song, apart from the end, which was drivel.
Yeah.
Just to quickly back to the future this shit, by which I mean just go back in time. The intro, I thought it was just some classic hood shit.
Generic,
Glack, you know.
Belongs on a TV hood drama.
Yeah.
That's what I put it.
On me, I thought it was pretty good, but
I really like it.
I really like Tommy.
I didn't think that it was as good as I hoped it was going to be, because I was like, it has Kendrick Lamar on it. It has Kendrick Lamar. It's going to be a 10.
Kendrick Lamar's
it's going to be a 10 or a 9, and it was like...
Kendrick Lamar's features aren't always amazing, though.
You know what?
He was good in this.
I hated the hook.
I
hated the hook.
Same.
Yeah.
I feel like it was better than his feature on the Taylor Swift song. But,
This is the thing I want to mention. That's one that concerns me. It does sound like, even though it's not the quality of it, it does sound like a To Pimp a Butterfly track. And
he does say to Pimp a Butterfly. He has a reference. In the album. He has a reference.
I find that because essentially we're talking about the game sometimes giving no time at all to his features.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, on the other hand, he almost entirely makes the song like the features song. There was a few songs on here, the big ones being Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, Drake with 100. They sounded like 100 sounded like a Drake song. Like through and through. It sounded like Drake featuring the game, 100%. And like there was a few like that where he really, and a few where he even starts to kind of mimic the flow of his feature.
Yeah.
Which I don't think always works. I think sometimes when he's doing that, it's like, you have a good thing going. You should probably just do that, you know? Like...
Yeah. So, Step Up. What do we think of that? I thought it had a decent start.
I thought it had a sort of Cypress Hill era sort of feel.
Again, the sample there, Step in the Arena by Gangstar.
That was great.
Amazing.
But I wasn't a massive fan of the chorus and the hook.
Yeah, I quite like the female vocals, but it was really out of place with the beat. It had one of those problems that a lot of rap songs do where they get a really good singer to come in and sing, and then they don't tailor the beat in the chorus to her. They kept it as a sort of hard rap beat, which would fit like a Cypress Hill chorus or a House of Pain sort of shouty thing, but it didn't fit nice female vocals.
Should we talk about Don't Trip then?
Yeah, who do you think won out of Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and the game himself?
I don't know.
In the battle.
I think Ice Cube had a pretty good verse. I was quite surprised with Ice Cube's verse. Dre's verse was decent, but it was Dre, you know.
And Dre's
will.i.am, I was surprised he was actually rapping, and he wasn't doing his crazy auto-tune thing.
I actually thought that Dre won.
But I think his other performance was better. You like Dre's.
I thought Dre won in that particular verse.
I thought the game, Dre and Ice Cube all did great on that.
You know, I found at the game, like, he was fucking killing it on some of these.
He
was making himself look better than a lot of his features.
He was good, and he was good on almost every track. He was very consistent.
I feel as though his lyrics were incredible on almost every single song that he did. I feel as though the flow was probably good on like 50%, maybe a bit more, but his lyrics were always on point. They were strong throughout the entire album, or at least I felt.
I think the lyrics were strong, but it wasn't consistent in the content.
Yeah, it had a lot
it
flitted between like real talk shit and like gangbang shit. Like song to song, it could be like saying like, oh, you know, we got all joined together and Crips and Bloods, we need to unite, and then like the next song it'd be like, I'm a blood, fuck you Crips. Yeah, and then you're just like, I mean, you should probably pick one. And then, like, rather than just shout each. I also thought, I just noticed it because it's under there. As well as On Me, I should have mentioned this at the time, a lot of stuff on this album has a bit of a Kendrick Lamar influence. You can tell that he's really into it. There was specifically Dollar and a Dream, which is just after standing on Ferraris. That very much reminded me of how much $1 cost with the chorus.
I thought that was a really, really good song.
I thought it was a really good song. Absol's verse on that.
Absol's verse on that was so good. It was so good.
I think on this, Schoolboy Q and Absol, they were the two best features.
I just put Absol verse is real nice.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
And
was so
Game
good.
was fire on this as well. Game was good on that.
Yeah. Made in America.
Made in America, slow, boring.
Chill track, nothing really memorable about it.
Hashtag doing that Little John thing.
You know what?
That was the first Jelly Roll. You said you wanted to.
Was not into it.
Well,
say your thing.
I thought it was.
Say my name.
I thought it was funny.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
You know, I got this feeling from Hashtag that, like, the game was like, Jelly Roll, I need you to give this 100% energy, like, you've really got to do it. And he was like, okay, I'll do my best to give it like 1,000,000%. And it reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever seen the episode of when they're in the Slurm factory with Slurmers Mackenzie, who was the 24-hour party worm.
A bit of Futurama. I think you mentioned that, but...
Yeah. Do you remember that episode? When the game was in the Slurm factory, guys?
There's this worm called Slurm Mackenzie, and if he has to party 24/7, if he stops partying, he gets fired. And he's like... He has to just bring 100% all the time. He's like really depressed about it, like, woo! Yeah!
I can definitely see that as being one. This wasn't quite a Little John performance of
it just felt like
shit over
it was like
track.
This is like he's like awkwardly excited to this. Like he's on a level and everyone else is like.
I thought as though the whole song was also like an interlude, except for the ending, which was weird because at the ending when they brought drums in, I was like, hey, look, it's becoming a final song, and then it like ends, and then I was like, oh, okay, so that happened.
Moving on, Circles.
Circles.
Pretty basic. kind of the boy girl arguing thing was kind of interesting, but wasn't.
I preferred the sample that was used in the last
bit.
third of the track.
Got better, but I was quite disappointed with Q-Tip's rap. I like Q-Tip, but I thought it was pretty lame. Moves on to Dedicated. Typical Future warbling, boring beat. A lot of this stuff.
I hated his chorus.
Section.
I hated his chorus.
This sort of is all in the section
again,
that I think comes out as filler.
In that song though,
Definitely. The middle section of the song.
The game's verses on that song, Dedicated, was really good.
That's
really good.
The game is so good on so many of these songs that when he's good on a bad song, it doesn't save it enough for me sometimes. Like with this, I was like, it still goes down to like a 4. Like
really?
not
Okay.
Good, yeah. Because the rest of it.
I didn't like the intro to that song. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, the game was the big.
He was the only good thing about it, but there's so many good songs. There's like almost 40 good songs with the game on there here. Like,
yeah, it's true. Ridiculous.
Bitch You Ain't Shit, G-Funk.
Worst song.
Bitch You Ain't Shit.
It dragged.
Just horrible.
I felt like he was trying to throw in
I just thought that the girl in question got riggedy wrecked, son.
I just found the whole thing just offensive and obnoxious, and I didn't like it.
Well, yeah, that's because it's like West Coast gangster rap.
Not as offensive as Summertime. Which not only had Mike Will made it with his.
I was surprised. I was surprised that he came up with an alright beat despite having the.
Michael made it.
Mike Will made it.
Did you hear that? So you heard it on that track?
I heard it on that track as well.
Because we had an argument about this on the Miley Cyrus record where like it really irked.
Yeah, we didn't notice it, but I noticed it on
that time. I did,
and I didn't like that track at all. I thought it was awful.
I thought the beat was pretty good.
I enjoyed the beat.
I was surprised that because I saw that it was done by Mike Will Made It, and then I listened to it and I was like, this isn't that bad considering. It was quite chill. It was all right. It wasn't great. It was all right.
That was one of my favorites.
And Jelly Roll wasn't doing his 110%. So
Woo.
Mula.
What you know about power?
Kanye,
which is almost all he says in the whole song.
Oh, I mean, what? West. Can you
get out? So he didn't have a verse.
He didn't. He just sort of popped in and did production stuff and just came in with what you know about power.
What was with his fucking like vocal on that, man? It was so weird.
It was weird.
Like this with Kanye West, I feel like so much of his stuff is like hit and miss. I think it's because he walks into the studio, gets the microphone, and says, "Yeah, I don't need to hear the song first. Just go. I'll do a thing. I'll be like a genius. Be amazing."
And that's why he didn't have a verse. Do you think?
No, I feel like he went in there. He said some like random shit, and then he took the headphones out off like one take, killed it, and left.
He was the producer in that.
Yeah, I feel like he produced the track, gave it to Game. Game did the rap, and then maybe he didn't want a verse on it, or maybe he was like, "No, Game, you did good. I don't want to like thing anything." So he just came in.
I thought he did a good
bits.
job on the production. It was a decent beat, but he wasn't.
Decent.
I wanted Kanye to do a verse just so I could see whether it was good or not, and I was disappointed that he didn't.
Documentary 2, I think average.
I really love that.
I really liked it. I thought it was the best beat so far.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
DJ Premier, I'm going to give him a shout because he did the beat for that, and that was insane. I thought the chorus or hook, whatever you want to call it, was actually really good compared to the other songs. Yeah, I really enjoyed that song.
Love that song.
I really enjoyed it.
New York.
Interesting.
I liked what I was talking about.
Yeah, I respected the intention of protest.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a great song.
He didn't make like a big deal out of it. He wasn't like, I'm going to turn this into a massive song. It was only like 2 minutes.
I felt like this song was like so average, but the message had a good intention and a message, and it had the interesting smoke and words bit kind of thing that dragged it up a bit for me.
I think that the fact that it was only about 2 minutes meant that I was like, yeah, you can throw that in. It doesn't matter because like it wasn't. There was nothing great about it, but the whole idea behind the song was pretty cool.
And now I think we've got to the end of the what I would call the filler section.
Yeah.
And we get to 100 by Drake.
100 by Drake. I didn't like the hook.
I liked it.
I liked that a lot.
I thought as though when Drake was doing the hook, it sounded like he was kind of falling asleep. When he was
I know.
singing.
I love. That's what I wrote. I love
That's what you liked.
Yeah. I love it when Drake does a sleepy rap.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan.
He does
a sleepy rap.
He does do sleepy rap.
I thought every part of that song was enjoyable except for his sleepy rap.
No, I like the sleepy
I gave it about a 7. That song.
Oh, don't come to my studio.
Yeah, fake shit.
Yeah.
I love it. That was
not a fan.
I really enjoyed that song, and I do like Drake's, and it sounds like a Drake song, and so when it came on, I was just like, yeah, this is Drake's song. I like this.
Just another day.
Great verse. Game was pretty fire on this.
It was another chill track that didn't really stand out for me.
Decent beat, but
just another track.
Just another track. but I think it
Do you
was better
disagree?
than most
Do you
of
like
the
it?
filler. I think it was better than
I
most
didn't
of the
think it
filler.
was like
Oh,
much.
okay.
But I think it's worth.
LA featuring Snoop Dogg, Will.i.am, and
I
Fergie.
think this Will.i.am. I was surprised with how much I liked Will.i.am on this.
Really?
He had some decent stuff with this. I didn't like his
He didn't do much
his
for
thing
me at
with
all.
Furry.
Didn't.
I didn't like, but I liked.
I really disliked the
His
production
actual
was-
rapping was alright. I liked Snoop as always because Snoop is great.
Yeah, Snoop had a decent verse. It wasn't
Yeah, but
amazing.
Snoop
but it
always
was-
has a decent
drums.
verse. Snoop
Yeah.
always sounds great.
I thought
Snoop's
this was
a fucking pro.
this was him actually like
True.
rapping though, and a lot of his stuff where he comes in, he just does some weird stuff nowadays,
Yeah.
and it's always good. But this was him actually rapping. I really liked that. The drums was really over distorted in an interesting way, and I quite liked it. It wasn't the beat wasn't anything amazing, but I thought it had some interesting touches where at least they were trying to do something with it.
Yeah, the beat was
That's what
made
I
to
thought.
sound like it was too high up, like so it was like distorting.
Yeah, but it
And
wasn't.
let's not
master.
forget that this is the last track on
On two.
and I thought that the last verse, which was the game,
Yeah, the game was really good. I love that bit.
Really,
yeah,
really good.
intensely good.
Love that bit a lot.
Seriously good.
I don't know why they thought like just going la 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 was clever enough.
No,
like for
yeah,
LA.
no.
And they all have their they all have it at the end of their verse, and they all say like in my fancy car or in my
Yeah.
whatever car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
La la la. It's like
They,
no.
they had a gimmick and they thought this will be good, and then luckily they didn't overdo the gimmick because otherwise I would have hated this song. But they just put it in there. And it's just
There were
kind of
two
annoying.
really good things about that. One, Snoop was on it, and that's always welcome.
always good.
And the verse at the end, I thought that was great. The rest of it didn't do anything for me, to be honest.
Now, normally don't talk about skits too much. We mentioned the first one because it's an intro skit, and then I guess 2.5 is kind of an intro skit. It's kind
Yeah.
of like the interlude thing.
It's a longer
New
one.
York
so-
Skit.
When they started talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna," it's Sway interviewing him. I like Sway. His interview's good. He was going to be talking about the beef with him and Game and 50 back in the day. I was like, "Oh, it's a big story. Oh, like this could be kind of interesting." But once you sort of sat there and listened to him tell the story, it's really not an interesting story.
No, it's not.
It's literally just
And it's like 2.5 minutes.
yeah, 2.5 minutes of him
to
basically saying
start
50
an album.
kicked me out of the club and I was upset with that. So I went to see him with my boys and then we shot each other.
Yeah.
Like that was the entire story and it went for so long and I was just like, this is not an interesting story.
Well,
Move it on.
let's move on to Magnus Carlsen.
Which was a good
You know
song.
what?
Named after
Ooh.
chess player Magnus Carlsen, who is the highest rated chess player in the world. And it's kind of, the idea behind it is kind of saying that there are black pieces and white pieces, kind of like blood versus crips,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
about
yeah.
territory and control and domination
yeah.
and stuff. I like that idea.
I thought this also had a bit of a Kendrick style as well. This is
Yes,
one of the
it
other
had
songs
such-
where I
this
was
guy,
like, this is
Anderson
the Kendrick
Peak.
style. Anderson Peak, I really liked his vocals.
He sounds just like Kendrick Lamar from Pimp
I
Boy.
really liked his
The
vocals.
problem
first
I
two
found
songs
with
on
it
this-
was that after you've had a 2.5 minute skit, and this is now technically the first song on the album,
Yeah.
it was a bit too chill. It didn't like
I think it set
grab
a
my
good.
attention.
I think it set how the rest of 2.5 was going to go.
Yeah, I think it was. It definitely there was a sort of change in vibe
Well,
between
I don't
2 and
know
2.5.
actually, because I felt as though it didn't necessarily reflect it. But we'll get onto that. So next song,
at least vocal wise, I think. It
Okay.
reflected it, like what he was talking about. Because this
Yeah,
side,
okay.
he had more of the stuff talking about Crips and Bloods and it being like, oh, we shouldn't necessarily fight and stuff. Whereas in the earlier stuff, it was lots of like, I got a Ferrari, you know, sort of
Yeah.
less meaningful songs.
so Crenshaw,
Crenshaw,
80s and cocaine.
80s and cocaine. I thought it was funky, and that was about all I thought about it.
Yeah. I love the more vocals from Anderson Peak. I really like
Anderson
that.
Peak was good.
Love the samples. Really appreciate the production on that one. That's all I really got to
Is
say about
it
that.
Peak? I thought
Yeah.
it was P-A-A-K.
It is, yeah. Anderson Park, maybe.
I don't know how you
I don't
pronounce
know how
it.
you meant to say it. But
Yeah, I thought the first half was alright, so that was the Crenshaw bit.
Yeah.
And then it went into 80s and cocaine, and I thought that was used really good samples, had
Yeah.
like a funky synth to it. Kind of reminded me of well, I'm only saying it because it's the funk hip hop record that comes to mind straight away, but like Wesley's Theory at the start of To Pimp a
Yeah,
Butterfly.
yeah. I
It kind
feel
of
like-
reminded me of that, but it wasn't as well done.
I feel like the second, I feel like 2.5 was a bit more consistent than the first one. I think feel like the first one was a bit hit and miss
I'll agree with
with
that.
some of the songs.
Gang Bang Anyway.
My favourite song on the track.
Featuring
Yeah, yeah, like-
J-Rock and
Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy Q, best verse on the album, in my opinion. Excellent.
I
stuff.
wrote 3 words about this song.
Yeah.
Everything is dope.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, dude.
I rate this as a 9.
Same.
And it's probably the
Same.
best song, if not tied best song
Yeah.
on the entire double album.
I'm down with
It was so good.
The beat was really J-Rock, high energy. J-Rock was great on the song too.
Yeah.
Everything about the song I liked. It was another one where Game sort of lets his features take over the track, and it was sick.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible.
The Ghetto.
The Ghetto. This actually excited me.
I read
This excited me a lot.
I read nice funky old school beat. Just nicely in, and then in all caps, Nas is spitting.
Yeah.
Nas
It was
got
so
2
good.
verses on this
Yeah,
as
and
well.
both of them he killed.
And both of them were
Both.
incredible.
Yeah.
And the Game and Nas rapping together.
Yeah.
They work so
It was
well
great.
together.
Yeah,
like,
they had a real chemistry there. It was
incredibly well. I just wrote absolute fire.
Yeah.
Chill beat with some like really upfront verses.
There was a
really
nice
good,
synth flavour
really,
as well.
Really good.
There was a synth that I noticed. I was like, that's good. And I can't remember it right now because there's so many songs that I've listened to, so many synths. But I wrote it down, so it must be good.
Yeah, I would say those two, the Ghetto and Gangbang Anyway, were absolutely incredible. I probably preferred the Ghetto just because it had Nas on it, and I just love
You
Nas.
like Nas, yeah.
I love Nas.
Next song,
Yeah,
I think
From
was
Adam,
the worst song on the
featuring
album.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne was so
Lil
good.
Wayne didn't get a verse. I thought the hook was okay, and the lyrics came off quite well when it like the Game's verses lyrics. They seem
I feel
pretty
like there are
authentic.
worse songs on the
Yeah,
album.
I don't.
I think that's really the
Really?
worst one.
I think it's the worst song on the
Oh,
album.
I don't think it's the worst one.
I think there's
I don't think
I think
much
it's
of
definitely,
it,
like,
but I don't
tied
think
for
it's the worst.
songs.
Mm.
Like there's a couple songs on here that I don't like. I'll be interested to see what you think is the worst when you get to, because there's one more song on this album that I dislike.
Okay. Gang Related, featuring Asia Bryant.
I thought
I like that.
it was alright, but I thought it was
I thought the lyrics were again incredible. Kind of looking back over all of this stuff
Yeah.
that's been going on.
it had
But it only had one verse and it was quite short, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't,
I
it didn't
wanted
have
it
as
to be
much of
longer.
the game, and I thought it was a bit average.
I wanted it to
Sorry.
be longer. I thought with what you've given, you could make a real track out of this. But he didn't give it. And I was kind of disappointed in that. But from what was there, I liked.
Last time
You've Seen, featuring
Decent beat.
Scarface and Stacey Barth.
Yeah, wasn't really into it.
It was all about Tupac, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
last time you seen Pac.
And he was like in the mirror.
It's not the
This
first
morning.
song that's done it. It's not the last song that's gonna do it. It was okay at that kind of idea of
Yeah.
this is what happened to Pac.
It was
and
very
it was
much-
all about the police and fuck
very much
you
filler
and all
of the
that.
track.
Like I just felt as though you're not doing anything new. Although it's something that a lot of people care about, I don't think that
A lot of people do care
a
about
lot of people care about
Now
that.
this one I thought of you when the next one came on, Intoxicated.
it. No, don't like it.
Kind of funky interlude.
No, that
Sounds like
the worst song on the album.
Sounds like
but
it
I'm gonna
could be on.
I'm gonna say that's an interlude.
Sounds like it could
Like a
be
skit.
on. I thought it was. I felt like it was an interlude when I listened to it. It sounded like one of the sort of kind of joke radio things they'd have on a GTA radio station to me.
It's just
I thought it would fit
I
into
think
like
it's
San
just
Andreas
awkward.
radio or
It's
something.
like
just
that
a sex
Intoxicated
skit.
and Quik's Groove, the one. The whole like sexual thing comes across as awkward and creepy,
Alright.
like just kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's just creepy.
I
It's
just
not-
said it's a sex skit,
Cool,
but there is
anyway.
actually a song called Sex Skit later on,
Yeah,
which
that's
is a
also
sex
just
skit.
terrible.
But
That was
like,
awful. That
they're
was
so
really bad.
pointless. So pointless.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
fair.
both of them were kind of pointless.
I think Quick's Groove.
Quick's
I didn't
Groove.
write anything about the lyrics. All I wrote is beat was pretty funky.
I really liked it.
Okay.
I really liked it. It was a really
I
classic
liked it. I thought it was
hip hop,
above
like
average.
West Coast. If you want the West Coast sound, you listen to Quick's Groove.
Yeah.
DJ Quik, he got in and made that sound, and it was incredible.
I did like the
really
kind
chill,
of G-funk production on the side of the album.
really like old school vibe as well. And I thought the verses kind of they had that same vibe that the beat provided. Like I thought they did it well. Outside, featuring E40, Marcus Black, and Lil E.
Now, this one I really liked. I thought it was sort of old school, funky, had a good hook. I liked it. I thought the verses were good. I was like, this is strong, especially as a lot of the stuff at this point I think feels like filler. This was one of the ones where I was like, no,
Yeah.
this feels like a track.
I didn't like it. Just because it didn't really stand out in any way. It was like everyone's doing an all right job. But
Maybe.
nothing was doing anything more than an all right job. I don't really like.
I thought especially in terms of the songs around it, I really like the song because I think the next 3 songs are weak as fuck.
Yeah.
Up on the Wall,
Up on the
featuring
Wall.
Problem.
My Flag to Homies
Is
and
it
Moment of Violence.
is it Ty Dolla $ign or is
Yeah.
it TY Dolla $ign?
Ty Dolla $ign?
Ty Dolla $ign and YG, funky synth beat, 5 verses. That was a long track.
And all of them were weak.
Really? I thought they were all strong.
The game wasn't bad, but I thought Ty Dolla $ign's was pretty weak.
I thought they were all strong.
YG's was alright for YG, but
And
I felt like the album only picked up again the last couple of songs.
yeah, I
After
agree.
that.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Father Like Son was pretty fucking dope. I really enjoyed that, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't like.
Even though
get into it
the
personally.
content wasn't like great,
Yeah,
but
that's what pulled it down for me.
I felt like there was a lot of sincerity there
Yeah.
in what he was saying.
I
and
liked
you
it.
really
It was
believed
real. It was a reference to the first track. I was like,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. I like, but I don't like it myself. But
Yeah.
it's decent.
The problem with that is if you didn't know that, like, obviously he says that he's talking about his son, but if you didn't know he was talking about his son, you wouldn't like be interested in that song at all. If it didn't have that context, it wouldn't be a great
Yeah.
song.
Like, I just get the feeling like he's like, yeah, my dad became a famous rapper, so like I could leave the ghetto and not have to live the way he lived. So what he does, being a famous rapper, he goes and glorifies being a gangster so that kids in worse situations can go, yeah, I'll join a gang.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I thought Moment of Violence was probably the worst song, actually. The one before.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty bad as well.
That had King Mayor's Just Us and John Connor. John Connor. Yeah, I didn't think anything
I
of
think
that
a song
track.
that was weak, even weaker than that though, was Life.
Really?
I did not get into Life.
I actually thought that was like one of the best songs on the album.
That's interesting.
You got to
Yeah.
stop listening to it, Gareth, and you got to just start living it.
Life, for me, was just the game by himself, no features.
Yeah.
Although you're going to argue against it, it was the last song on the album, and it concluded the album. It was just him reflecting on everything that's happened in the album, and he just wanted to finish it and talk about life.
That's fair.
And I felt as though he did it well.
As a closer, I can be like, I can see.
I
it as a closer,
really enjoyed
but
it.
I personally just didn't like it.
I'd go back and listen to it again, even if it wasn't the closer.
And then we move on to what we have been informed is a bonus track.
I-
El Chapo.
I really enjoyed El Chapo.
I thought it was one of the best songs on the album. It wasn't the best. It wasn't in the top like section of the absolute best, but I really liked it. You can tell, like when you hear a lot of them, even the ones that are big and bass heavy and heavy on this track, they're very hip hop styled. You hear this, it's very dancier. It's
Very dancier.
Trap,
Dancier.
very dancier. It's because I read the word.
It's very
I read the word
dancier.
dancier
Trap.
in the wrong context, but it fucking.
I couldn't tell by listening to it that it was Skrillex.
Oh yeah,
though.
oh yeah. I
Could
didn't-
you?
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
totally,
could.
totally. It's very much
Big
his
time.
style. It has, the trap is done like him. It's a lot
I guess
heavier
I haven't
than a lot of
listened
the
to
other tracks.
Skrillex in like 3
That's
years.
very
That
true.
probably.
I think Skrillex's
explains
production
why.
like really complemented the
Heavy.
game's like
Yeah,
hard
It did.
style. And that.
Also, it was an interesting thing where I saw that it was El Chapo and Skrillex, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Skrillex produced a track for El Chapo." Then I realised it said El Chapo featuring Skrillex, and I thought, did they just put that because they got so many features on there? They went, "Yeah, he's a feature." Then when I was listening to it, I was like, "Oh no, shit! This is Skrillex singing." Oh, that's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool. I was like, "Oh yeah."
That was so cool. I really
his
enjoyed that.
vocals. He was originally a singer, and I was like, "Oh, it's pretty good that he started doing some vocally stuff again." It's really weird. He has one of those interesting voices because of his vocal problems. Because if you don't know, he was a singer in a band, I think a kind of metal-y band.
Yeah.
And then he like had problems with his vocal cords or something and couldn't carry on singing anymore. Like he was signed and everything. And then so he hasn't done a lot of singing for a long time. And now that he does, he has a sort of interesting quality to his voice. I think because of that,
Okay.
where it all sounds kind of rough and kind of like.
It's got
quiet,
an
but he
interesting
sings something. Yeah, it has an interesting timbre.
Hombre. Well, I think all in all,
I thought, and I mentioned, even though I've now found out that it isn't an ender, as a bonus track that ends off the album for how I listened to it, it ended it with a big, aggressive, hardcore bang, which I was just like, yes, that just. There's not too much depth in it, but it's just energy. It's just pure energy.
yeah. Well, all in all, I thought the songs were enjoyable. I'm not hearing anything amazingly new from these two albums.
I thought, hidden within this album, if you cut it down, with some editing, got it down to like 12 or maybe a few less songs. There was an 8 out of 10 album hidden in it.
Oh yeah. If you cut
no, I agree with that.
If you go from both the albums
way too much
into
filler,
one
which
album,
pulled it right down.
Yeah.
If you took out all of the like 4s and 5s that were cluttering up this album as filler, you could make an 8 out of 10 album out of this.
I wouldn't say that there were any 4s personally.
Really?
Yeah,
I put a lot of 4s.
Well, excluding the ones which I'm not even going to count, like the skits and the Intoxicated and Sex skit. I'm not even going to count.
But I can see what you mean. None of it was like total awful. Like,
none of it was bad, but you could easily dislike some of it.
Yeah.
Basically.
I can feel that.
But yeah, there are some really great tracks, and if you're making 2 albums which have a combined thing of like 37 tracks or whatever it is, you're bound to have. You have to. If anyone's going to take you seriously, you have to have some like 9s in there to really stand out.
Well, I thought the albums lacked cohesion. Like from song to song, it like changed up. They felt like a bunch of singles.
There were points where a couple of songs wrapped together very well. Multiple points on this album, especially the start of it, where songs,
right at the beginning.
I'd say there was a streak of about 5
songs
that could have gone on.
There were bits where it was like 4 or 5 songs
streaks going on
that fit together. That could have been one big song in one big thing, but there were too many points where
it's
also
too easy to just lose yourself when you're listening
so
through 17 odd tracks plus another one that comes afterwards.
And like when I say there's no sort of consistency or cohesion, I think like I think he tried to explain himself in one of the tracks. I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been the Nas one, where he's saying like, it's a documentary. It's like a bunch of like snippets of my life. But even then, I still didn't leave the album thinking I knew the game much better on like a personal level at all.
You know that he was in a gang.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't want to see gangbangers anymore.
I would have liked a more of a personal album, if you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean.
Top tracks.
As
I said before, Gangbang Anyway was my favourite. On Me was probably my second favourite, well up there. Then other ones, El Chapo, 100, Outside, Magnus Carlsen, Standing on Ferraris.
You basically said it all for me. Yeah.
I'm going to go
the
through
last tracks.
On Me, although I thought it could have done better with KL. Big KL. Thought it could have done better. Standing on Ferraris I liked. Dollar in a Dream I liked.
Yep.
Dollar in a Dream!
The documentary 2, really I like that as well.
Yes.
Gangbang Anyway, absolutely incredible. The Ghetto, absolutely incredible. Quik's Groove, I liked it because of the old school kind of sound to it, and that was it. All those.
So scores?
Well,
scores.
I'm gonna have to give it overall, if we're judging both the albums together, a 6.
Okay.
I agree. 6.
How do you feel about it, James? Just give us an honest opinion.
I really wanted to give it an 8, but it's not an 8. I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay, that's cool.
7. Ooh.
I can respect that. We're very sorry for keeping you so long here on the Sonic Squeeze, but they were very, very long albums.
It was almost 40 songs!
He's right, you know. So if you liked that video, could you please give us a thumbs up, you know. Maybe hit that subscribe button. Maybe show your friends. Show your mother. Show your father. Any siblings. Do what you want, you know. But just come again.
Do you, boo?
Were they words?
Barely.
Let's sign off like that every time.
Let's not.
Goodbye. Predictions.
Predictions, I thought you would give it a 6. I thought you would not like it as much as us because I thought you'd be harsher on the amount of mess songs there were. I thought you would give it a 5.
Good album. Loads of great songs.
You're a good one.
But there was also a load of songs on it.